Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Pop Culture News here on The Experience. Hope you are having a good week. Got a lot to get into, so let's just jump right in. Now, Sebastian Stan's star is on the rise. He takes on a wide array of roles, everything from Donald Trump to Tommy Lee and everything in between. And he scored his first Golden Globe the other night for his performance in A Different Man. But Stan has been a fan favorite member of the MCU since his debut in Captain America the First Avenger. And he will be returning as Bucky Barnes, but not in the new Captain America movie, but in the Thunderbolts. And while being interviewed by Deadline, they asked him about being part of the Marvel feature that pulls together kind of various sidekicks or supporting characters from other franchises. Now, the actor said that the new film it'll be its own thing, and says, I don't feel you can compare it to any previous Marvel movie. And that's because of the group of characters in the film and these actors. I couldn't have had a better time than I did with David Harbour, Florence Pugh, Wyatt Russell, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I mean, every single one of these people are funny, they're generous. And so I think a lot of the chemistry did make it to the movie. I'm excited for people to see that. It's a little bit like Breakfast Club. It has its own vibe, and it's funny, and it's real. And we did actual real stunts. Like when you're watching a truck blow up, it's a truck blowing up. It's not CGI. Marvel really wanted this to have its own thing. There were many things in the movie that were actually done practically, and I think that does go a long way because people are just smart. I think audiences, they know. So Thunderbolts, with the asterisks, will be released May 2nd, 2025. Moving over to Universal, they're kind of shifting around their upcoming animated releases. DreamWorks Animation and Illumination projects are coming up with Shrek 5, and this is going to feature the return of Michael Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Cameron Diaz, of course. Well, that's moving from its original date of July 1st, 2026 to December 23rd, 2026. Now, Walt Dorn, Conrad Vern, and Bart Abison are coming back to direct. Now, moving into that vacated July 1st slot is Minions Part 3, which is bumping up a full year from June 30th, 2027. Pierre Coffin will be directing that one. He also directed the first 3 Despicable Me films and the first Minions spinoff, and he does the voice of the Minions. Now, finally, Universal isn't giving up that 2027 slot either, claiming that that prime summer release frame for an untitled movie that had previously been set for March 19th. So everything's kind of shifting. Now, Shrek 5's late December date still keeps it in the window, though, for being released during its 25th anniversary. That's right, the first Shrek movie debuted in 2001. Okay, moving on, we know that the upcoming Captain America Brave New World has gone through a lot of rewrites and reboots and reshoots and all that stuff. But now we're learning just how severe they were, as WWE star Seth Rollins has confirmed that he is no longer in the movie at all. Rollins was originally slated to play one of the mysterious villains, likely a member of the Serpent Society, but when asked about the film recently on Chris Van Vliet's podcast, Rollins said, I wish it the best, but I'm not part of that film. I'm not in the movie. I will say unequivocally, I'm not in the film. I do not want anybody to go into the film thinking, I'm here to see Seth Rollins. There might be 2 people that would do that, but I don't want those 2 people to waste their time. I don't want to misinform anybody. I don't want to lead anybody astray. I'm not in the film. Now, he was further pressed for more details, but he said that, does my NDA still apply if I'm not in the film anymore? Truth be told, any answer I give would only be my opinion on it. The script went through a lot of rewrites and reshoots. So what I say, or what I was there to do, essentially, my role got either repurposed or completely erased. So I did do a bit of an audition to possibly pop up in another role, I believe, or the repurposing of my role. I'm not exactly sure of what it was, but they ended up going in a different direction. My understanding was they were just a lot of rewrites and a lot of reshoots, and they know they got a finished product that they're hopefully very happy with. Hopefully it's successful, but it will be sans Seth Rollins. Now, since the rewrites and the reshoots began, the film added Giancarlo Esposito as a Serpent Society member called Sidewinder. So it's possible that the role Rollins auditioned for, his repurposed role, is that role, and he didn't get it, losing it out to Esposito. All right, moving on to the Fantastic Four, and we're about 6 months away from that. This will be Marvel Studios' version of it, prior as opposed to the two prior versions done by Fox. Now, this film, of course, stars Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, and Eben Moss Bachrach as Ben Grimm. Now, one of the surprise casting, of course, was that of Julia Garner as Shala Bal, a version of the Silver Surfer and a Herald of Galactus, Galactus will be played by Ralph Ineson. Now, Garner recently talked to ET Online about the main cast and director Matt Shakman, and she said, "The Fantastic Four are fantastic. They are phenomenal in this film, and I'm very excited for people to see them. And they're just also some of the kindest people I've ever worked with. So they're wonderful. They're a fun cast with a great fun director." Now, this is all part of a cast that also includes Natasha Lyonne, Paul Walter Hauser, John Malkovich, and Sarah Niles from Ted Lasso, but we don't know who any of them are playing officially. Fantastic Four First Steps will be in theaters July 25th, 2025. Now I got a question. Are big studios now trying to use gaslighting to help explain bad films? A few weeks ago, Sony's CEO Tony Vinciquerra tried to blame the failure of films like Madam Web and Craven the Hunter on critics being too harsh and them not wanting the films to succeed. Now, he ended up stepping down shortly after, no surprise. Now the director of the poorly received The Flash film, Andy Muschietti, who's supposed to be doing the upcoming Brave and the Bold, he's trying to spin away why his movie flopped. He said, "Apart from all the other reasons, it wasn't a movie that appealed to the four quadrants. It failed at that. When you spend $200 million making a movie, Warner wants to bring wants you to bring even your grandmother to the theater. And I found out in the private conversations that a lot of people just don't care about the Flash as a character, particularly the two female quadrants. All that is wind going against the movie that I learned about." Now that seems like a legitimate excuse until you remember the most popular series on the CW for years was The Flash. And the CW is a series that skews towards younger audiences and female audiences. I mean, that's the reason why Stephen Amell on Arrow spent all that time doing the Salmon Ladder. It wasn't about character growth. It's more likely that the film did poorly because of a very troubled star making a lot of negative press and it being attached to a universe that was basically already dead. But hey, whatever helps you sleep at night, right? You go, you, Andy. All right. If you look on social media this weekend, you'll likely see posts about fans wanting Aldous Hodge to be the next Black Panther. Hodge is best known, of course, for playing Hardison on TV's Leverage or Hawkman in Black Adam movie. And most recently, he played Alex Cross in the new Prime Video series, Cross. Now, these posts are likely driven by a recent rumor that Marvel Studios is looking to recast the role of T'Challa left vacant by the untimely passing of Chadwick Boseman. Well, the other part of what's behind this is an interview from 2012 where Hodge expressed interest in playing Black Panther. He mentioned that Black Panther is a role he really wants to play. He grew up loving the Marvel Universe and admires the character of Black Panther, seeing him as almost like an African-American Batman. It's not known at the time if Marvel truly is recasting the role of T'Challa. It's just the rumor. And if Hodge would be interested, after all, in playing it, since he has already dove into the comic book world. Or that if Marvel would be interested in him. But those are why you've seen a lot of posts like that over the weekend. Moving on. We're just about a month away from the first big opening of 2025, that being Marvel Studios' Captain America Brave New World. Now, this has hit the tracking services quorum, and it's expected to do between 86 million and 95 million over the first 3 days of the 4-day weekend. It's a Valentine's Day / President's Day weekend. And nothing says great date film like an Anthony Mackie movie, right? I'm telling you. Anyway, to take into account, you know, the Friday to Monday figure is also expected to go over about 100 million if it's due all 4 days. Now, the projection, of course, takes into account the change of cast and overall reset of the franchise. But it's also taken into account Harrison Ford joining. So there's a lot of things to go on. So we really don't know how the film's going to do. Now, the next installment is grounded, though, kind of like the Captain America Winter Soldier from 2014. And that did about 95 million over the 3-day weekend of April 4th to 6th. So this could do pretty similar numbers, hopefully a little better. And finally, if you're waiting for Daredevil Born Again trailer, according to one of the stars, you're going to have to wait just a wee bit longer. The series is set to debut in March and basically continues the successful Daredevil series from Netflix. And it brings back the majority of the original cast. But according to the Wilson Fisk actor Vincent D'Onofrio, the trailer was set to come out, but then got delayed because of the wildfires here in Los Angeles. But D'Onofrio assured fans, though, that it is coming. So hopefully we will see it soon. So, all right, guys, that's the news for today. Thank you for tuning in. And remember to stick around for all the other great shows we have on here. But today alone, we have Minute to Skim It. We have our late night show, Kicking It with Henri, but we also have a brand new debut series. It's our kind of psychedelic shopping show we call Wonderland Comics. So you want to stick around for that too. And I will be back on Thursday. I haven't figured out my topic yet, but when I do, we'll have fun with it. So I hope you all have a terrific day. Stick around for all the other shows, and I'll see you soon.